But now we're in this fourth leg of the tour, whatever we're at.
Too many legs.
Too many. I know people who have flown all over the freaking country. Okay, things that need to be.
Why? You
things
already
we need
saw
to leave in the
it.
past. Stop flying to other places to go see Taylor Swift when you've already seen her 4 times.
You can see it in theaters.
You can see it in theaters. You can see another surprise song on social media. You can support your favorite artist, Chappell Roan. Your artist's favorite artist, Chappell Roan. It's the Pop Report.
So juicy.
3, 2, 1.
Yay.
Hey, Zack.
Hi.
You are king. You're an iPad kid.
Yes. I love iPads.
What's it like to be an iPad kid?
It's great. I love them. They're so easy to just fit into your pocket, carry around.
Fit into your pocket.
Yeah.
Do you remember, like,
That's when people are like, oh, are you attracted to me? And I'm like, nope, that's just my iPad.
Do you remember, like, iCarly and Victoria's? They had, like, pear pads. And they made,
they
made fun of, like, how big and massive they were.
Mm-hmm.
And they were also kind of in the shape of a pear. And I was like, why aren't those real?
Pear pads?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think...
Well, they are real. They're just called Apple iPads.
I know, I just like the shape.
Yeah.
I think they're fun. How are you?
I'm great. I have some coffee in me. It's a good hot morning here in LA.
Girl.
Thriving.
I texted you and I was like, I am running late this morning.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll just tell him in the studio, it's so fucking hot. I need AC. I went to bed last night and I felt like, good God, it was just me in like single bed sheet, like nothing else. And I was like, I am just unwell, bothered, hot. Woke
Does
up.
Oliver sleep with you?
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
Like, and then I'll kick him off the bed and I'll be like, Corgi, now is not your time. Like, another time. But I was roasting and I was just sitting here and I woke up and I'm like, F me. I'm going to just roll up to the studio, hope for the best. Showered real quick, got my shit together. I don't know how much sleep we're on, but we're here.
Meanwhile, I've had a full morning.
Yeah, you are Miss Mother when you wake up. 4:30, coffee. Workout, no filter. Goes to bed, 10 p.m. with dogs. Like,
yeah, the bed with the dogs is a lot because they're so big. They're like, when they stretch out, they're like the size of a human. So I have like just 2 other humans in bed with me.
oh, well, if you put it like that. I don't think
Not in a
anybody's complaining.
comfortable way, though. Not the type of 2 other humans in bed with me. Because then it does get hot.
Yeah.
I'm glad I have AC, but still, with 2 other giant bodies in the bed with me, it's a lot.
What's it like to be rich? What's it like to be rich with air conditioning in the state of Los Angeles?
Just get one of those. Listen, when I grew up, we were not rich. And so we'd get the little ones that you put in the window.
Oh, yeah, I had that. Now my apartment has sliding fucking windows. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'm looking up air conditioners on Amazon, looking up TikTok reviews. My roommate's like, you're so Gen Z. You're looking up air conditioning reviews on TikTok. I'm like, bitch, I'm also looking them up on Amazon. So I'm just doing my research. But yes, I am a little more Gen Z.
Well, no, that's the best way to find it. And then they have so many good deals on the TikTok shop. I shop so much on the TikTok shop now.
It's so easy and so bad.
I should be earning commission on the TikTok shop because I shop it and then I see all these people and they're like, this is the best dog leash you've ever seen.
And I'm like, stop being performative. You're trying to get commission, but like, I get it.
Yeah.
Speaking of TikTok, I know it's time for our hot headlines. And I feel like we haven't done justice to cover this story of Haktua girl.
Mm-hmm.
I just learned about her.
Really?
Like, maybe in the last week or two.
Yeah, same.
But
I feel like I've seen her around for a minute.
There's so many clips on TikTok that go viral for context. And the things that go viral are things you not really expect day to day. I've seen so many man on the street interviews. You know, they ask like random people on the street and they just ask them whatever. They may be grocery shopping. They may be out and about with their children, with their ex, with their hookup. And someone just sticks a freaking mic in their face. I've done this before. I know how, first of all, unsettling it can be being the person holding the mic, just being like, I'm going to ask you something, and then shaking with fear. But then to also have to come up with something on the spot.
Yeah.
These people will just say whatever comes to mind. And this girl, who's been dubbed as Haktua girl, was just out with her friends at a bar, having a good time. And this man sticks the electronic device in her face and says, how do you, give a man a good time, like when you're with him? And she says, oh, you just give him a good haktu.
And spit on it.
And she was just like, this is fun. This is whimsical. She's gone to hiding because that clip has gone viral. Like, she is.
I mean, yeah, now every guy's going to be sliding into her DMs because she appears to know what she's doing. She's doing the hawk too, right on the D.
No one's disagreeing with her. Like, no one has said that's not how you do it, but everyone's like, I
don't hawk too. You do it delicate. Well, actually, no, I don't even do it. I don't spit at all. You like find a way to lubricate with the juices in your mouth. That sounds very unsavory, but like you just, I don't know. Well, first of all, I hate fucking sucking dick. It's one of the most.
It's so much.
It's not enjoyable. Like, I don't get anybody that enjoys sucking dick. I will do it for, I'll do it for the plot, but I don't enjoy doing it.
I need to know you. I need to know where you've been.
Oh, I thought you said I need to nut you. I was like, what?
I need a nut. I need to know who you are, where you've been, where that's been. Like,
I just don't enjoy. I don't even know even if I know you, I just don't enjoy the act of performing fellatio.
Well, this girl, she said give it a hawk too, and some people think that she should capitalize on this moment, being in the state that she has taken a step back. Obviously, future employers and other people. I would capitalize on this and make this an employment move. Be like, yes, I am hawk to a girl, and
launch a podcast.
Launch a podcast called Hawk to.
Yeah, how to hawk to it.
That, I think, is the hot take of the hot headline, is capitalize on it. And this other girl said the same thing, saying, girl, run with it. Like, people have been mistaken as this girl.
You need to lean into these things. I was thinking about it the other day because there was this situation that happened to me last fall where there was this YouTuber that like put this like terrible video out there about me and like had all these like terrible accusations to make against me. And I was like, I don't know, to everybody around me, all of my friends, David, everyone's like, don't respond to it. Don't give it any air. Don't lean into it. And I was like, okay, that's the smart, mature thing to do. And now I fucking regret that. I was like, no, I should have reacted. I should have made content out of that. I should have made merch out of that. I should have monetized off of it. I'm not going to be the bigger person anymore. That is my motto for the summer. I'm leaning into my villain era. Not that I was ever not in my villain era, but I'm not going to try to be the bigger person ever again. That's a terrible decision.
You should have give it a little huck to and lubricate it.
I should have. And I didn't. And I regret that. So huck to a girl, you better lubricate, muster up, make some merch, start a TikTok, start a podcast.
There's been also other people who have been confused as this girl.
Why?
There's like
as her.
Yeah, there's like this,
and they don't know how to huck to.
No, this Southern girl is like, hey, I've seen the video. Y'all tag me in it. It is not me. She has 2 videos on her profile. And she's like, one of them is her saying, it is not me. And TikTok, they will go after and try to find these people. You know how aggressive the TikTok comments can be. TikTok, do your thing. TikTok, find this man. And it happens. But they have not found this girl.
Then how do we know? Oh, we know she's in hiding because we can't find her.
Yeah.
She's not like come out.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'd claim it.
That's dumb of her. So much money that she's leaving on the table.
Should we move on to other dumb
things? Look at what happened to I'm looking for a man in finance. Like, she got a deal. She's probably going to lose her deal, but she got a deal.
She got a David Guetta feature.
Yeah.
She came out to Vegas and everything. But I think we should move on to music news since we're talking about Mr. David Guetta, who also has had an iconic career. But should we talk about Justin Timberlake?
Again?
Well, I feel like
so this is also a viral video. Did you see this video?
Which one?
Of Justin Timberlake.
Which one?
The eyes.
No.
You didn't see the video? Oh my God.
The bloodshot eyes?
Yes.
Okay, so
you did see it.
No. I only know because I've seen like headlines and titles of reports coming out saying Justin Timberlake has bloodshot eyes. I've seen reports that say Justin Timberlake only had 1 martini.
Look at. This is the video that you need to watch to do your research. I posted it.
I've seen this video.
He's dancing. He's performing, and you
doing
see
his
bulging eyes.
He just looks
bloodshot.
Tired. Ooh,
that's more than tired eyes.
I saw you post this video. That's how I know. Put that away. I've seen this. So
So people were thinking he was imbibing on a little bit more. Now, the video was from May, so this was weeks before he got arrested. People were thinking that it was from his show in Chicago that he did right after getting arrested for his DWI. Now, the video's gone around and people are saying, oh, he clearly has been imbibing while on the tour. That,
these are
to me,
bold
his
accusations.
eyes are bloodshot, they're very red, and they're bulging out of his head.
How old is this man?
I don't know.
46?
He's not yet. Yeah, I would say 46.
I mean, to me, I think he just looks tired a little bit. It's kind of bold to throw an accusation that this man is consuming libations consistently while on tour. And
well, his rep, he's 43. His rep came out and claimed that he has to be sober when he's performing on stage. And so he, is not, which is a fucking lie, because we know plenty of pop stars and rock stars and, people that go on stage and perform. I mean, look at Amy Winehouse. She sang her best when she was shit-faced drunk. And then she would punch people in the audience. She was great. She was a performer. She was committed to the plot. And so that was a stupid error, or not error, but like a stupid excuse, because that's not.
Yeah. Like, also the reports came out and said he only had one martini, like a bartender.
Oh, yes. A bartender came out. The bartender that served him that night.
How they found this man?
He works at the bar that Justin Timberlake was coming out of. How do you not find him?
That's
if he works at the bar, they know where to find him.
Right. That's also true. It's interesting that what does this happen? Almost like 3-4 days ago? How many days has it been since this arrest? But it's still like new reports coming out.
It wasn't 3 or 4 days ago.
Was it a week ago?
It had to, but we've reported on it twice last week.
I know, and it's still going on.
I know.
It's like we're doing investigations on the bar now, and then I think the next report's going to be Jessica Biel speaking out saying how she is still supporting her man throughout this time.
Do you believe that he only had one martini?
Let me track this back. You and I have had one martini sometimes, and we go, woo,
Yes.
So that is 2 shots of vodka. If he has not enough to drink or not enough to eat, I could understand how one could put you over. I'm not justifying what he decided to do and get behind the wheel and be a little swervy-dervy, but I know one martini can be a little strong, and one martini could be a little more than just 2 shots of vodka. So I don't know.
One martini cannot be more than 2 shots of vodka.
If a strong bartender, maybe, who doesn't know how to make a martini.
It's what fits in the martini glass. And it very rarely goes over 2 shots of vodka.
Oh, you have like the TGI Friday like martini glasses that are huge, kind of like the margarita like salt ones. I have one of those at home, and that is a double. But I digress. I'm interested to see what else comes out of this, because we're now interviewing the bartender. Let's hold our breath. And
I think he's going to be cleared.
I wonder what's going to happen, but we're all still going to have that mugshot cemented in our heads.
He's going to be cleared of it. He's going to be cleared because they already have the bartender that's claiming he was only served one martini. I'm sure they'll pull up the receipt that proves that there was only one martini charged to his tab. They don't have the breathalyzer because he refused to perform that. So all they have is, I'm assuming,
and just him swerving.
Well, I don't know if they have him swerve. Well, I'm sure there's some
that video
surveillance camera, of him swerving, which he can easily excuse or just say he was tired. I mean, his breath could have smelled like alcohol if he did drink a martini and it was on his breath. But I mean, they don't have any proof that he had drunk above the legal limit. And they don't have, a blood report that shows that he had anything else in his system. So I think he's going to get away with it.
I honestly don't disagree with you. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
On other news,
well, I mean, if anything, it helped the tour.
As they say, any press is good press.
It helped the tour. It didn't ruin
It's not going to ruin the tour, and we're talking about him.
Yeah.
Speaking of tours, Taylor Swift also brought out Travis Kelce on stage, which this tour has gone on for so long.
I'm over it. It's gone on longer than her fucking 33-song album. She keeps adding songs to. I can't.
33 version album, but I really enjoy how you tried to whip that out.
I can't.
So he was in the tent
Mhm.
before, and people saw him jamming out, having
With
a good
Tom
time.
Cruise and
Yep.
Ashton Kutcher
Yep.
and Mila Kunis.
And then he is on stage what looks like to be a circus performance, or he has like this suit with a cape on,
Yeah, he had a suit and then the top hat.
and people lost it. People were like, Travis Kelce's on stage. And to be honest, I kind of was like, why isn't he on stage sooner than this?
No, I don't think he should ever be on stage.
Well, I just thought she would do something by this point, but now we're in this fourth leg of the tour. Whatever we're at.
Too many legs.
Too many. I know people who have flown all over the freaking country. Okay, things that need to be.
Why? You
Things
already
we need to
saw
leave in the
it.
past. Stop flying to other places to go see Taylor Swift when you've already seen her 4 times.
You can see it in theaters.
You can see it in theaters. You can see another surprise song on social media. You can support your favorite artist, Chappell Roan. Your artist's favorite artist, Chappell Roan. But I think that people are spending so much money to go fly and see her on tour wherever she is. I know people have flown to Brazil. Love my friend who's done this. I know people have flown also to Europe, but it's like, yes, the tour prices are different across other countries, but it's like the airfare, the hotels.
You're paying for the trip.
You have a trip, and you said a trip to Paris. How about a trip to Taylor Swift?
No, she's not worth seeing that. Like, okay, fine. You want one good experience, you go out, you have your fun, you shake it off, right?
Ew.
But
the fact you just said that, you shake it off.
You hack to and
Hack
shake
to.
it off. But I'm over Taylor Swift and this era. I'm done with. But the Travis Kelce of it all, Heather McDonald predicted that Taylor was going to start working him into
I think any of us
her
could have thought
world,
that.
and Heather's predicting that this is going to be the end of their relationship. And I agree with Heather. I think he's now becoming so intertwined in her world. This isn't going to last. This was never going to last.
We've had people say that they're a good fitting because of is he a kicker? Whatever position in football complements the quarterback to let them play the lead and play the star. So that is in comparison to Taylor Swift being in the spotlight. So by some people, they've said he's a good team player and knows when to be in the spotlight and out of the spotlight.
Yes, but now I think he's getting addicted to the spotlight. He has reached a level of fame that he would have not gotten through football alone. And now that he's so willing to go and perform these little stunts on stage for her, this is going to start to be the beginning of the end.
What do you say no? Like when your significant other says, can you come on stage with me? Do you think it was his idea or do you think it was her idea?
Well, it's one thing to bring them on stage. Like if he just came out to give her a kiss on stage, that's one thing. But she made him put on a fucking outfit and do a little bit on stage with her that made him look so ridiculous. And the only ones that like her or that like any of this are her 15-year-old fans that don't even have a fully developed brain yet.
I think it's cute. I think if it was reoccurring, I'd be like, this is a little bit much. I think it's nice as a one-time thing.
No, he's not. This is not going to be a one-time thing. From now on, she's now going to start to work him into.
Do you think he's going to go to every tour stop to do this?
Not every tour stop, but she's going to work him into more stuff moving forward, and that's going to be part of the Easter eggs. He's going to become commercialized in the Taylor Swift brand, and that's what's ultimately going to hurt the relationship and what will be the end.
And I don't think we can talk anymore on it. I think you're correct. We'll see what happens. I wish you both well.
Timestamp it, clip it out when it happens, roll the footage.
10:19, today's date.
Today's not 10:19.
It's 10:19 a.m.
Oh.
It is not October, Andrew, is what we would say. Well, speaking of other things going on in music, we have Matthew Rosengart closing his chapter of working with Britney Spears.
Fired.
Not fired. Not hired, just done. Mm-hmm. He, for those who don't know, was a key player in helping Britney Spears' conservatorship, I almost said conservatory, which is not a word, overall be terminated. So in 2021, she contracted him, and that was a big pivotal move having him involved. But now he's saying he's moving on to other projects and that it has fully been resolved.
He says, she crazy, I'm out.
I think he said something without saying something, but
What did he say without saying it?
Saying he's done. Like he's moving on to other work.
That's exactly what he said. That's not saying something without saying something. That's reading his direct quote.
He didn't say she crazy.
She crazy. Oh my God. Anybody that thinks Britney Spears is in her right mind is delusional. Okay? She is not doing well. She needs some sort of structure and stability and like guidance, which she doesn't have right now. I mean, she literally cheated on her husband with the criminal janitor, right?
Was it proven that she cheated? Allegedly.
We'll find out on the trailer.
We'll find out on the
Season 3.
traders what Sam Asghari says in his confessional.
I don't think he's allowed to. He has an NDA, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless, she's not well.
I don't think she is right now best supported with her things she has going on. She's a full adult for the first time, but I don't think her team, still as reports have said, people who are around her are the best.
Well, that's like taking somebody that's like 16 or 17 years old and suddenly being like, you're a full adult now. You
Here's
have nothing
money.
but money and fame. Go live your life. And they have no faculties to be able to know how to do that.
And she doesn't have trust of people.
And she doesn't have trust because she was put under such strict regulations from the people that she should have trusted the most.
And I have personally interacted with some people of her team, and I do not think personally she has some good people around her, but she doesn't know any better, unfortunately. That's all she knows, like these people who have been in her life, or they've been so good around her and behind the scenes to other people. They're really just not the best. I've interacted with some of these people who work with other high caliber celebrities.
Yeah.
And it is just super unfortunate on how they speak to one another or other people. And I faced the brunt of it one time, and I'd not like to go into it, but I do not.
She attacked you with knives?
No, I was ill spoken to, very ill spoken to by someone of her team. That is for another day.
An assistant?
That is for another day.
Manager?
That is for another day.
Lawyer? Oh, it was Matt.
I will say it's not Matt.
Okay.
But Britney, we will consistently be coming back to Britney. I think everyone is still watching her in the Free Britney movement.
Yeah, I love Britney. I love her music. Have always been a fan of Britney, but I've always been very outspoken that I don't think she has a good support system around her, and there was no transition period out of the conservatorship into the free world, and she needs support and structure from people that she can trust, and I just don't think that that's a realistic goal at this point. And clearly Matt agrees, because Matt said, bye, bitch.
Matt said, I've been paid. My services are done. Well, I think this is a good break for us to point out that, Zach, we started going through some analytics of the podcast lately.
Oh, we did?
Yeah. We have had a lot of y'all tuning in, and you all are almost finishing every episode. I don't understand how. Zach was like, so here's the completion rate. And I go, that's how many of these hoes want to stick around
till the end
for these little heads. Y'all are almost finishing every episode,
which is great. That means we're keeping them captivated.
Yeah, like on YouTube it's a little different, but
we did get a new podcast review.
Oh,
5 stars.
Please fix audio.
Please fix audio. Yes,
we are working on it. We see everything. Thank you for your grace and time. Some episodes we've had some things thrown at us. Sometimes we've kind of dropped our own balls, but we're just 2 dudes, 2 mics.
2 dudes, 2 mics, just dropping some balls.
The end. But thank you so much. Leave a review. Obviously, we'll be sure to read every best review possible, even the ones that say you need to do better.
Yeah, I'm going to give away some merch. So if you want to leave a review for the Pop Report, I'll pick some people at random. Leave a review, take a screenshot of it, send it to me.
Follow us also on Instagram. We do want to do some cool things there. Some cool contests coming up. We also have some guests we're talking to that has been kind of exciting in conversation. We obviously had Lewis, and if you want to see more people in the mix, it was fun. I liked having Lewis.
Yeah.
It was nice having a third person who could drag me alongside Zack.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
You don't get dragged. You act like you get dragged for no reason.
No, I understand.
You put yourself in these positions.
And so do you.
I do.
Yeah. Well,
but I don't get dragged. I'll try.
I'll
try.
I
get dragged on the internet, but I don't get dragged by Andy.
Watch or skip. I just stay silent. Watch or skip.
Yes, watch or skip. So Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan posted a new photo from the set of Freaky Friday 2, which is expected to come into theaters, not Disney Plus, but into theaters next year, 2025. I'm excited. We're also supposed to get Chad Michael Murray that's going to be coming back
Chad
to the
Michael
show.
Murray.
I'm looking forward to this.
He looked good, like in Mother to the Bride or Mother of the Bride, however you say it, with Miranda Cosgrove and Brooke Shields. He looked good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm excited. They posted this video, and Jamie Lee Curtis is doing like the rock and roll, like, you know, like excitement. And I think we're gonna have more band like esque content.
We need more.
I think we will get a single.
We
from
need
this.
a single.
I think Lindsay Lohan will drop a single with Freaky Friday 2 that like people are gonna get into.
The ultimate you.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's also different though. Like when Freaky Friday came out, streaming platforms weren't a thing.
No.
Like, and we have social now. We have so much that's gonna build into this new movie. I think, is it the working title is Freaky Friday 2 or is it officially Freaky Friday 2?
I think it's officially Freaky Friday 2.
I don't know. We don't know any plot.
They're not going to call it Freaky Friday 3.
I can tell you that much. That's the wrong thing to bet.
I did hear, I think Jamie had briefly kind of talked about, Lindsay's like, I can't say anything. And Jamie's just like, what do you want to know? Jamie, I think, did say that I think there's going to be some sort of like 3-way
kiss?
No.
Oh.
3-way like crossover, like body switch, because I think that now Lindsay has a daughter, so Jamie plays the grandma, and then I think somehow they all switch roles.
That'd be so funny. I think that would be a good spin. If it's just the two of them again, I'd be like, we've seen this, but if they add someone new.
Yeah, they're going to add, I think, Lindsay's daughter.
And they're like, oh shit, here we go again. Like, we stopped it before, we don't know how to stop it this time.
Maybe.
And it has to like revolve around the daughter being like, she has no idea. She's probably like on a vacation.
I think the daughter becomes Jamie Lee Curtis, and then Lindsay becomes the daughter, and then Jamie Lee Curtis becomes Lindsay again.
I think the daughter's going to be on vacation, and she's going to lose her phone, and whoever's playing the daughter is going to understand that something is wrong, but is not sure on how they solve it. You know, like there has to be some component of, yes, this is something already that's happened, but they probably can't contact the others, or they all probably can't be in contact. They need to solve it on their own and fix their own lives, you know, and they help each other. That's like,
you come up with the worst theories.
You want to bet that I'm going to be wrong?
Yes.
Because I'm pretty sure I'll probably be right in some capacity.
Okay.
Someone is going to be unable to contact.
Timestamp it, clip it out.
But again,
roll the footage.
The Hollywood narrative, they're all going to help each other's lives in some way in the end, and they're going to feel better about their relationships with one another. And we're not going to get a third. That's it.
We don't need a third.
No one needs a third.
No.
I like that we have this nearly 20 years later, but I would watch.
I'm absolutely going to watch.
Not hate watch. Watch for funsies, and we'll go to.
I want to go to the movies.
Can we go to the premiere for this one?
I want to go to. Well, we know enough people.
Well, that'd be kind of fun. Other news, things that might come out. I want to know your take on this. Did you ever watch 21 Jump Street? Do you remember that?
The original or the remake with Channing Tatum?
Okay, the remake with Channing Tatum.
Okay, I did see that one.
So I enjoyed the first one. I can't tell you what happened in the second one. It was like 22 Jump Street. They're talking about making a third.
Oh, please don't. We don't need that. We don't need that. The first one was good. I don't remember the second one, but I believe I saw the second one, but I couldn't tell you any plot points about it.
I can't tell you what I did this past weekend sometimes. Jack, our producer's like, what did you do this weekend? We're like, don't know.
You went to the beach.
I literally couldn't tell for a second what I did.
Yeah, it's more fun than me. I buried my great grandma.
Love, R.I.P.
Fun.
23 Jump Street, Channing Tatum says there's a script. He is the best. Not he is the best, but it is the best he has seen for a third movie installation. He knows that Jonah Hill wants to do it. He really wants to do it. I don't know if
is Jonah Hill still working?
Yes.
Okay.
He's just on other projects. He's obviously gone through a transformation. And
I know he is yo-yo dieting like crazy.
Yo-yo?
Yeah, he goes up and down, and then he gets mad when then people don't book him because he lost weight, and then he puts on all the weight. But I don't know. I can't keep up with him, so I don't know what he's doing these days.
Those are bold accusations, Zachary. See, the Zachary comes back.
They're not accusations. You can see the documentation.
Oh. Well, would you watch a 23 Jump Street?
No.
If it is called 23 Jump Street, points for me.
It probably will be.
We should keep a point tracker of like predictions we have.
Oh, I would kill it.
Can we get a chalkboard up here behind us? Be like, chalk one up for Mr. Zack. What is your prediction on 23 Jump Street?
That it'll be a flop.
You think it's going to happen?
No.
So your prediction is not going to happen?
I don't think so.
My prediction is going to be called 23 Jump Street.
I am excited to see Beetlejuice.
Okay.
That's coming out soon.
I'm not like oh my God, Beetlejuice, but I'm like, I'll watch it. Like, I'm excited.
How are you not? Oh my God, Beetlejuice. Like, Beetlejuice is iconic.
It is.
And it's been how many decades since the last movie came out?
I just love Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah.
So that's what gets me excited.
She looks great. She looks just like Willy Wonka and she's killing it. I'm like, yes, Johnny Depp.
Yes. Also, the morning show. New
season?
New season's being worked on.
Ooh, I love the morning show.
I've heard some interesting things behind the scenes.
What have you heard?
Of just how like Jennifer and Reese have a lot of control over the series. So it's going to be interesting to see what their feedback is of last season for what they're going into. I have some anonymous sources.
Last season was good.
Okay. I like the
You
first
didn't
season.
like last season?
Here's the hot take.
Hot take.
Anything where the first season starts with you don't know what happened, but you want to know what happened. Examples. Little fires everywhere.
Oh, wait.
Big
I
Little
remember
Lies.
the third season. It was the hack. That was kind of dumb.
It was kind of dumb.
It was dumb. That
my
one was
opinion.
dumb. And then the COVID season was kind of dumb. I like the personal storylines that we got from Reese, like with her brother.
Right.
And
You want to know what happened, though.
Yes.
Like season 1, you don't know what happened, but you know something bad happened. It's the same premise for a lot of these Reese Witherspoon shows. Big Little Lies, Little Fires Everywhere, The Morning Show. She's been in 3 of them that you're like hooked. You're like, I need to get to the end to understand what happened.
Yes.
And now I feel like since we're in it and they're trying to continue just living their lives, I'm like, I'm just like, I want another what happened, how bad was it? Like, what happened to Mitch Kessler was like the first season. Like, what
He
was the
died.
incident? Not way to
Sorry,
spoil it.
spoiler.
Not in the first season, but season 4, I'm like, what is the storyline now? We really were too on the nose with a couple things.
Yeah.
So
Season 3 really forced the hack story. Like they were trying to have another big moment like they had in season 1 with the Mitch scandal, and then in season 2 with the pandemic and all of that stuff. That
And
like
BLM and other things have been
Oh,
tied
yeah.
in, like a lot of big themes. I just don't know. I don't know what's going
I'm
to happen.
looking forward to that.
I'll
They
watch
filmed it
it.
in downtown.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Didn't you say they filmed by your building or something? Oh,
They
that
filmed
was
across. No, they filmed the morning show right across the street from me. There was, or my old apartment. I used to live on Spring, and there was a old Toroni restaurant that was there, and they turned like our entire street into New York, and there were taxi cabs and hot dog carts, and but yeah, they're often filming the morning show in downtown LA.
They're often filming a lot of shit by you. They also filmed that.
Oh, Love Undercover.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You should just sit with binoculars and be like, exclusive.
They're always filming car commercials on my new street now.
Good for you. Last but not least, I know we have something you've covered on No Filter, and we also
Well, we
have
also-
David Beckham
Yes.
to talk about. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Let's start with Beckham.
Okay, so you know more about this than I do. I think you know both stories better than I do. I know David Beckham, obviously, soccer player and husband, and the documentary that came out recently, there's a new exposé by who?
Tom Bauer.
Okay.
He's a journalist out in the UK, does a lot of books on the royals. He wrote one called Revenge that was really good. It was really fucking long, but it was pretty good, and it kind of exposed like Meghan Markle and why the UK does not like Meghan Markle and how she basically climbed the social ladder and she wanted to marry a prince to gain status and become a celebrity because it wasn't working for her in acting, and how a lot of the things that she has publicly stated about how she met Harry or her relationship with Harry, just a lot of the inconsistencies in her story. And we get
Okay.
into her backstory and
Did
all
you
that
read
stuff.
this?
I read Revenge, yes.
Okay.
About
Do you have
Meghan
a
Markle.
hard copy in your living room? I feel like you do.
No. I did the audiobook. It was so long. And he has a new book coming out.
Okay.
And it's called House of Beckham. And it's also really long. The audiobook's
Pause.
14 hours.
Why is everything house? Why can't it be like estate? Why can't it be like mansion? It's like, what was it? House of Hammer?
Gucci. House of Hammer.
Okay,
Yeah.
continue with your home.
So, House of Beckham. And the book just came out this week in the US. Very excited to dive into it. But so far what's come out is a lot of the affairs that David Beckham has had, and how the relationship between David Beckham and Victoria Beckham is more of like a brand. You know, they know that they're worth more together than they would be apart. So there has been infidelity that she's overlooked in the past for the sake of maintaining their co-joined brand.
That's big.
And so his assistant comes out in the book, and she reveals how they had an affair. And the assistant also talks about
wait. David Beckham and his assistant?
His personal assistant, yes. Her name is Rebecca Luz. They had an affair back in 2004. And then she also talks about how she walked in on him hooking up with a Spanish model, Esther Cañadas, and how... you know, he's not the most faithful, and that's affected Victoria, and that's possibly why she has body dysmorphia, and it's led to her having 5 different boob jobs.
Does the guy who ever writes these books come into like legal trouble, or like?
I mean, he has in the past.
Because I wonder when people do exposés, like if they're gonna come after you and say slander, libel, like. Obviously, these are allegations from people who work closely with it. So it's like it's validated by kind of like it's a he said, she said, unless they have like photo proof.
Well, yes. Well, I mean, you're a reporter. You understand how when you write an article, you can have sources, and sometimes you don't know if the source is telling you the truth or they're lying to you, but they're giving you their firsthand account. They're giving you their details. And what I will say, and I've only read Revenge. I haven't read this new book because it literally just came out today in the US. Tom Bauer, does have, you know, a good way of pulling together all of the details. This is, and kind of leaning factually of like, this is what was said in this article on this date at this time, and it contradicts this source and that source who claim this happened on this day at that time. So it is there's not a lot of like opinion in the book, at least from the last one that I read. So he does try to stick to just the facts. And when it comes to like a defamation lawsuit, you know, and it is about a public figure, those are really hard to fight in court, because you have to know that the information is false and run with the information knowing that it's false, and do it with the intention of harming this person's reputation. So you have to prove all 3 of those things in court in order for that to stick. And in this case, if he has multiple sources that are making these allegations and these claims, you know, like they can maybe sue the assistant for defamation, but they wouldn't be able to sue him.
The assistant should pull a hawk to a girl and make a career out of it.
Yeah, do the whole Rachel Yucatel thing.
I mean, it's worse. We're probably going to keep reporting on this overall.
Yeah, I'll keep you posted as I read the book.
As I like lose my voice over here. That's very interesting. I mean, I think the expose novels, there's a lot of them that come out, but to have one about David Beckham, and
yeah, that was a bit of a plot twist. I wasn't expecting a Beckham expose.
You have like your cards that come out of people it might be, but then it's like David Beckham and Victoria Beckham.
Yeah, and I think it's mainly to just expose that the relationship is more of a business transaction and a facade to maintain their brand and their wealth with their endorsement deals. But I did like really enjoy the clips that I saw of them from the Netflix documentary. Like they do seem to have chemistry. They do seem to still kind of really be into each other.
Yeah. Well, shifting gears, thank you also for doing a great job reporting on that. Like you kept me up to speed very well.
Thank you.
You've also covered this Vanivia story, which we have an anonymous source who's given us some things on. But can you give some backstory? I know you touched on it on No Filter. I got sent some clips of people being like, is this your podcast co-host? And I was like, yeah. We have an anonymous source that came forward about this, but can you get people up to speed of what is Venivia and why it's been making headlines?
So Venivia is an app that was launched last year,
Mm-hmm.
and it's basically like an influencer marketing app. Which there are a ton of them. I'm sure you get emails all the time about come and sign up for this app and you'll meet all these brands and
Right.
we'll connect you with brand deals, whatever. So it's one of those influencer marketing apps. It was launched last year. They had a launch party for it, which now looks like it was estimated at like either 1 million or just under $1 million to produce this launch party, which to me, I was like, and I texted, I was like, that's great. Like $1
That's
million
crazy.
for like, that's insane for a brand new app. But so it launched. There is Teresa Giudice, who is from the Real Housewives of New Jersey. She's one of the most prominent housewives, primarily for going to prison because her and her husband were defrauding banks and cheating on their taxes and, you know, committing
things.
mortgage fraud. So she went to prison, came out of prison, left her husband. He has since been deported. She then recently got remarried to this new man, Louis Ruelas. And Louis has also been a bit sketchy himself.
He's from what I've seen, we'll get into it, but I've only seen this because like you report and then obviously the reunion, people asking if the reunion is going to happen, and then Teresa staying silent and all this, but continue.
Yes. And so Louis just seems a little shady. There have been reports that maybe he doesn't have the money that he is claiming to have, and he's using a lot of Teresa's money that she earns through Housewives, through a lot of her endorsements, and she is very wealthy. So there's this new company, Venivia, is that how you pronounce it?
Sounds like a drug, honestly, like
yeah,
Truvada.
Yeah, like a erectile dysfunction drug.
Anyway.
So he and Teresa were at the launch party. Their kids were all there. They took photos on the step and repeat. He was seemingly a face of the brand, and people were believing he was a co-founder or that it was his brand.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he does have some sort of marketing company that I know is also currently being sued for harassment because there's one woman that's claiming that she was being harassed by his company because they were the phone calls. Like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
do you have student loan debt? And they're calling you. So she's accusing his company of harassing her through that. That's ongoing litigation. We'll see where that turns out. But with this app specifically, he was seen at the launch party. He has a connection to one of the co-founders. But now that there's been some controversy around it, where we have vendors specifically from the launch party that are coming out and claiming that there are unpaid bills amounting in up to $300,000 to $400,000.
It's big, yeah.
Which is a lot of money, and I believe $300,000 or $250,000 was already paid, but there's still an outstanding like $300,000 to $400,000 that has not been paid for this launch party. And so that woman who is the event planner, has come out and she's started to talk about this. Other people that used to work for the company have now started to come out and say that, you know, their payments were late or they haven't gotten payments yet. Louis is now saying, I have no connection to this company. I don't know the co-founder. And there have also been mixed reports that Louis is not a co-founder, but he was supposed to come into the company as an investor, but he was receiving payments. And then it came out that he was a consultant, not an actual co-founder. And he was working as an independent contractor to help them with their business strategy. So it's all just very confusing and very messy.
We have an anonymous source that's come out to tell us about their experience working here. One of the quotes specifically about what you just said is, quote, "They've made several false claims, including one of the CEOs was one of the founders of VidPresso. Louis is heavily involved with the business strategy and actions of the company. He's friends with Marcella, one of the CEOs, and has been controlling all of the creator involvement for the app." So it's just like, okay, for the New Jersey reunion not to happen also, like, this doesn't look good for them.
Well, and context on that, a big part of the reason some people believe that the Jersey reunion isn't happening is because the cast had accused him of hiring a detective to dig up dirt on each of the cast members.
Mhm.
They've accused him of sending one of the housewives, Margaret Josephs, came to the last reunion with phone records proving that Louis, and she had his phone records with his cell phone number, calling her son's place of work, she alluded to basically he was trying to harass him or intimidate him in some way. So there have been a lot of concerns about safety from the cast members in regards to Louis.
Louis, yeah, has a lot of things right now going against him, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Also, this person went on to say, quote, "When I was working at Venivia, there were countless things going on that were suspicious and shady." Sounds shady from what you said, Zach. The person also said, quote, "Having to go into work with active construction happening in the office and not given any protective gear, weird payment terms and stinginess from leadership with vendors, lack of direction and guidance from leadership." And this one's interesting, quote, "Paychecks turning into wire transfers." It's just like, and I don't know. When I hear this launch party and the vendor is being owed $400,000 and the FBI is investigating,
Yeah, so that
it's
I think is
just,
probably the most interesting piece that came out of this source, is that there is an active uh, alleged FBI investigation that's going on right now. It seems like it's a bigger investigation, and this app and the business practices related to this app are just kind of something that they're looking into in relation to a bigger issue that they're investigating when it comes to
yeah.
Louis and these other people.
And allegedly, the company's taking down Glassdoor reviews of employees who have worked there. Not sure if that is something possible to do to work with Glassdoor, but it's strange.
Yeah, you can work with that. I mean, it happens like on Yelp, like when there's an overflow of negative reviews. Like we saw this happen with Yelp and Schwartz and Sandy's, which is owned by Tom Sandoval and Tom Schwartz. And a lot of Bravo fans were trashing the restaurant on Yelp, and they were not genuine reviews. So the restaurant did work with Yelp to have those reviews removed and to temporarily suspend people from being able to leave reviews on Yelp. I don't know if that's since been updated, but you can work with these companies if there is a
You're not
reason.
supposed to be able to do that on Glassdoor. They have to stay up specifically, but it's just wild how that you covered this. I got sent a bunch of this with people saying, "You know this man?" I go, "See, I do know this man. This is Zack." And then I got this tip. So what full circle, like, weird sketchy shit that comes to our news desk, if you want to call it that. We are now a full publisher.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I will say when it comes to the Jen Shah stuff, because that's the most recent Bravo case, and Jen Shah's now in prison. That was like an nearly 10-year investigation that they were digging up information on her, trying to look at all of her different companies and look at her business practices. And when they would crack down on her, they would watch how she would operate and if she would tweak things, but still try to keep the con as long as she could. And she was. And ultimately, through that entire investigation, once the feds finished their investigation, then that's when they went hard. And I am suspecting that
that's gonna happen here.
this will happen with Louis. It may not happen this year or next year, but it will come at some point. If the feds are already starting to dig up information, where there's smoke, there's fire, and they're likely going to end up chasing him to the end.
And what do you think's gonna happen with Teresa?
She's going to be left without another husband.
Do you think she will play "I didn't know any of this, like, I have no idea," or do you think she is going to be assumed that she's involved?
I think she's the type of person that's like, that's his business. He's doing his thing. I support my man. All I was doing was standing by him. But I didn't know he was committing, these crimes.
People have made comparisons with Erica and other things that have happened in the Beverly Hills franchise. We obviously don't know. Erica's was a different story.
Yeah.
Different situation. But definitely an interesting case of what's going to happen with Teresa and Louis on this.
Yeah, I mean, he's buying them a lot of expensive gifts.
Someone buy me an expensive gift, Zach.
He's buying the gifts, but he's not paying the vendors for the party.
What a week. And this is only the beginning of it.
I know.
What do you think we're going to talk about later off this week? More Justin?
Probably.
Yeah.
Justin's the hottest story right now.
If you haven't subscribed, again, I will tell you now because y'all listen to the entire episodes. If you subscribe, good things happen. I don't know, like support us. We have some fun things going on. I'm going to VidCon this week to do some reporting. Yay. VidCon and conventions are just stressful, in my humble opinion. I just think mass crowds of people, as I've gotten older, are unsettling. That's just me. I don't like being restricted, only having certain access. It's fun to see people, and then we're gonna hang, have a little celebratory, like, we're living life.
Are we going to like a VidCon thing tonight? We're going to something tonight.
No, it's different but same.
Okay, we're going to something tonight.
We're gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
Zach, you want to leave anybody with anything fun?
Anything fun?
I don't know.
Huck two
on it.
Spit on it. Ride it.
Sit and spin
all night long. Ride it, my pony.
Well, thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.